Hello, everybody. Welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and this is going to be the weekly forecast for the Twin Flame Collective. We've got some pretty intense energies this week. We're heading into this week with some very powerful transits and energies. And so today, Monday, June the 5th, we do have Venus that just entered into Leo this morning. And when it went into Leo, it was in the 12th house of Cancer. And so I do feel a lot of karmic endings have kind of taken place over the weekend. I know there was a lot of confession energy over the weekend with the full moon. And with Venus entering into Leo, as well as opposing Pluto today, this is bringing some massive changes. I kept being shown 555. And we've got the 6-6 portal tomorrow on June the 6th. On Wednesday, we have Venus squaring it up with the North Node, two very fixed energies in a very tense square aspect. We also have the Sun sextile Lilith on Wednesday this week. On Friday, we have Mercury in Taurus, sextile Neptune in Pisces. And on Sunday, June 11th, I think this is probably going to be the biggest energy of the week. Pluto is going to be leaving Aquarius and retrograding back into Capricorn. We will also have Mercury trine Pluto before it enters into Gemini. And so we've got some big energies, and Venus will square it up with Jupiter, although we were already feeling that. And that will all take place on the 11th. So I do feel the 11th is going to be a big, big day for the twins. And so we are going to need to stay in charge of our perspective this week. I know things are very confusing right now. They're feeling very foggy, a lot of upper chakra pressure. There was a huge purging, I feel, over the weekend. So we're going to have to really be mindful of our thought processes and our perceptions of our reality, because triggers are going to be coming up trying to drag us down and to drag us off of our path. And so I do feel this energy with that full moon in Sag that came through brought forward some type of revelation within the divine masculine's journey, making them well aware of who the divine feminine is. I do feel the divine feminine's higher self has kind of made themselves known to the divine masculine, whether it's been in dream space or meditation. And so right now I do feel strongly that the divine feminine's guidance is really supporting the masculine while he goes through this transformation of owning all of his inner shadows and facing all of his fears, right? And so it's going to be a very tricky week, right? Because the masculine kind of has to go within the depths of this shadow work in order to kind of banish all of these past demons. So he's kind of like in the depths of the Piscean ocean is what I'm feeling. And he's diving deep in astrological terms is what I'm feeling in the moment. And so we're going to have a similar feel to the energy as what we were transmuting last week. And so I know it's feeling very stuck. It's feeling very blocked with the T-square. I know last week I was on a roll and then I got hit with a huge block, a huge creative block. I went to start channeling the Capricorn monthly June message, and I don't know what's going on with Capricorn energy, but I was blocked. I tried so many times to sit down and channel Capricorn, and it was like, nope, dead stop, you ain't going anywhere. And so I kind of just took a step back this weekend. I needed to kind of just detach from all of this very intense collective energy going on. And so I kind of took off for the weekend and I got grounded. I spent a lot of time by the water, in the water, out on the lake, at the trailer. And so I do feel there's a lot of energy creating tension right now. And I do feel it's going to start to feel a little less intense as we keep moving through these energies. And so we've been feeling this push-pull energy when it comes to being able to move forward for a while as we kind of close out all of these karmic cycles. I did notice 444 when I looked up. And so that is all about foundations, right? Divine protection as we go through these foundation shifts, right? Of our beliefs, closing out these karmic cycles and getting rooted in these higher contracts. And so there's this push and this pull, right? And so the masculine is being pulled towards the feminine with this attractiveness. And it's almost like the karmic's trying to push the masculine back down into a karmic cycle, which is creating all kinds of difficulties. And so I don't believe that that karmic cycle is fully over. Although many of us have learned a lot on the journey so far, I think we're not out of the woods yet, especially with Venus moving into Leo. And so this is going to create a lot of high drama. With Venus aspecting Pluto, this is going to create intense jealousy issues, paranoia, fear, possessiveness, because it's two very fixed energies in a square, in a difficult square. And so a lot of high drama, I feel, this week in the karmic contracts because of the shadow Lilith energy in Leo as well. And so this is also going to be very hard to handle in the energies, I feel, for the masculine. And so I feel the feminine twin is feeling like she's in her power. I know I feel completely detached. I feel free to move on. I feel free. I feel free for the first time in a very long time. And so I do feel this is triggering a lot of issues. I do feel a lot of the feminines are triggering the masculines. I feel this deep sexual desire for the feminine, which is also bringing up a lot of anger issues and rage, right? For their lack of better judgment. And I do feel a lot of the karmics are very vindictive, facing the shadows of their karmic feminine energy. And this is to clear the karmic collective feminine template as well. And so I do feel a lot of the karmics are trying to hold on to the masculine, which is not theirs to hold on to. And so all of this karmic residue needs to be cleared. And so I do feel a lot of the masculines have been struggling in that karmic feminine experience. And I do feel a lot of the masculines have been exploited and abused by the karmic feminine, very, very mistreated, lied to, betrayed, and then some. And so all of the ghosts of the past are coming up, and this is kind of creating a major source of conflict and problems. And that's what the karmic comes in to do, to create all of these problems between the counterparts. And so what we got to do is we got to go into these karmic cycles to go into the ghosts of our history, our gender role history. And so there's a lot of drama right now playing out, in particular within the collective. And so a lot of the divine masculines, though, they unconsciously get hooked into the distortion in the karmic feminine contract. And it does create severe blocks, and it does kind of drain their energy levels. And so I do feel with Mars also in Leo this week, my Mars is in Leo. So this is going to be challenging both the masculine and the feminine twin, right? With both Mars and Venus in Leo. And then we kind of got Lilith and Leo kind of in the middle. So I do feel there's going to be all kinds of karmic blow-ups. It's like everything's kind of got to blow the lid off in the energies. And so there's going to be some sort of emotional drama or conflict, I feel, for the divine masculine with that karmic feminine contract. And so divine feminine, be aware. Don't allow yourself to get triggered into something that's not truly yours deep down inside to transmute. A lot of the feminines have already done the work, and we've transmuted all of this pain. And so I do feel the karmic is having a hard time learning how to express themselves with a healthy sense of communication. I know a lot of feminines, and I know this is collectively, a lot of divine feminines have been unfairly treated throughout history. And we have been oppressed by male abusers. And I do feel this is part of the karmic debt that the masculine has to pay back, is to now be oppressed and abused by a woman. And it doesn't make it okay, but it's to balance the scales for the masculine to understand the abuse that he's put the feminine through in a past life timeline. It doesn't have to be in this lifetime. And I know we all hear women talk about men and you know, and I said it, hey, we all know men, they're after one thing only. You know, they're after one thing only. And true love never lasts. Well, I guess, you know, time and time again, that's been proven to be my case, right? And so a lot of the divine feminines feel like we haven't truly experienced love, a true connection. And then we meet the counterpart and we experience it, and then we get pulled back into the shadow aspects and transmuting all of these collective unconscious stories that we keep repeating throughout history. And so we, as twin flames, as divine counterparts, we are here to release these old patterns. We're not here to keep playing into opposition, power struggles. We're here to come into that union. And so I do feel the karmic is doing us both a favor, though, right? It is pushing the masculine to bring all of these issues to the surface so he can go through this purification and this detoxification as part of this transformation. And so I don't think it's going to be a very pleasant week for many of the divine masculines. And the divine feminine, I feel, is being asked to embrace the flow of energies. And so, yeah, it's definitely not going to be a pleasant week. Give me 1 minute. I'm starting to get a frog in my throat. And so there's a major energy clearing, I feel, going on between the sacral and the root chakra to clear all of these old emotional blockages and all of the energy that keeps us stuck in these patterns and in these unconscious hooks. It's like the karmic keeps trying to hook the masculine back in. Every time they try to release the karmic and they try to stop this negative experience, the karmic kind of hooks them back in. And so we do need to remember, divine feminine, at a higher conscious level, we only do have love for the counterpart, and there is a lot of respect for one another. And so anything that is not rooted in love needs to be released, because this is part of the collective distortion. And when we release the distortion, then the light can come in, then the love can return, and we can pick up where we kind of left off at. And so with this major purging going on, detoxification going on, Pluto is really working with the collective for this purge. So, and we're releasing the gender-based opposition timelines, the conflict timelines, the blaming, the victimhood, right? And the abuser paradigms. And so it is not easy to clear all of this. And so this purge, I feel, going on this week is really affecting the sacral chakra. I had so many uncomfortable sacral chakra cramps over the last 24 hours, and it's not that time of the month for me. And so I did feel like a lot of sexual shame being released. So you might be feeling a lot of heavy ascension symptoms related to the sacral chakra. And then we kind of got to deal with all of these power and control issues, right? That's what Pluto is all about, power and control. And so I do feel the masculines do have to feel that victim mentality, that powerlessness that the feminine had to go through, so they can step into being a victor rather than creating these paradigms of victim mentality that they keep playing into. And so with Pluto going back into Capricorn retrograde, we're gonna recognize this karmic pattern. So you're really gonna want to pay attention to where Capricorn is at in your housing side. I know for me, it's hitting my 11th house of social groups and my collective mission. And so this is why I'm feeling very stuck, because I've been getting all kinds of downloads as to how to move the channel forward with some new educational videos moving forward. I know I'll be week 2 into the tarot class this week. And so first week went well. I'm really excited to start offering these tarot classes on a consistent basis. And as soon as I can figure something out for an evening class, I will be offering an evening class. It's just so hard with the kids home all the time and not having that divine masculine to be that business partner with. And so it's really hard to do anything in the evening with the kids around. I try not to have my videos interrupted with the kids as often as possible. So we're recognizing karmic patterns in the Capricorn energy, and the Capricorn energy does deal with the father, right? Cancer, the mother, Capricorn, the father. And so all of these gender collective patterns, we do have to live them out for real with these soul contracts this lifetime, so we can understand the history within our own family ancestral karmic lineage. And so I do feel the masculine really needs to get to grips with reality. I do feel a lot of unfortunate things have been playing out when it comes to him attracting more negativity. Because when we're in a false contract, we kind of take on that other person's debt as well. And so that's a clear indication you're in a karmic contract if you're in a situation where you feel powerless to the vices of somebody else's jealousy or possessiveness. So this is like a mirror for you to see what's no longer working, to get to grips, right? So you can release this unhealthy pattern once and for all. And we can't really step into being a victor until we recognize what's making us feel powerless, right? And so I know collectively I have felt so tired over the last couple weeks, and the weekend was just like right down in the dumps when it comes to energy. Like emotions were fine, but the energy level is like walking through molasses, and it feels like, I know, I just felt like I just needed to tap out. I kind of went into this spiral of sometimes it feels like maybe I'm not really making a difference. And so I felt like the masculine was in a spiral of not feeling good enough, or feeling like people don't like him, and going through the self-doubt, the negative self-talk. And so we need to remember our thoughts do frame our reality. And so we also have to take appropriate actions to release these feelings of unworthiness. And so I do feel there's a big powerlessness issue involved with the masculine this week, especially with Leo, or with Venus entering Leo. The masculine's going to be facing many obstacles. But this is spirit bringing in like a divinely orchestrated tower or something to get the masculine to get out of that situation, so he can begin to embody self-love like the divine feminine. And so I do feel the divine feminine self-love has alchemized this entire twin flame connection. And I do feel once the feminine is fully open to the masculine's return, it will really fully manifest this entire alchemization process. And so with Gemini, or with Mercury heading into Gemini at the end of the week, that's going to be really nice for the twins. Gemini is the sign of the twins, and that's going to be Mercury's home sign. And so I do feel we're entering into some type of communication in the tangible 3D reality with the divine masculine. And so I do feel like, and we're in Gemini season, we're going to have this magnified Gemini energy coming through. Geminis are busy, we're buzzing. Geminis are effervescent. I'm a Venus in Gemini. And so we're going to be really processing a lot of thought patterns and perspectives very quickly, because Gemini moves very, very fast. And so we're going to have to be careful. I feel a lot of the heavy Gemini placements might feel like you're going crazy a little bit. So you're going to have to really focus on meditation with the over processing of the thoughts. And so Gemini is asking us to master our mind, to master our thoughts. And so I do feel a lot of the masculines are worried. Is the feminine mad at me? How am I going to be perceived? And so right now the masculine's mind, I feel, is in overdrive and is really preoccupied with all of these Gemini details of like, I need to make a decision. What do they think of me? Are they mad at me? How will I be perceived? What's their point of view? What do I do now? And so when we overthink and think and think and think and think, there's no room for our intuition to guide us forward. And so the intuition is, in the heart space as well, and in the gut, and in the gut. And so I do feel I know for me, I feel very disconnected telepathically from my counterpart. A couple of weeks ago, I was dreaming about them a lot. I was receiving all the signs and the syncs. And now it's like this, it's like the radio got turned off. I'm not even drawn to listen to music. There's like no telepathy going on right now. And so I do feel the masculines are like, huh, what's going on? Something's wrong. I don't feel the feminine's energy. I don't feel her. I don't feel her. And so I do feel this is making them go crazy in the mind space. It's kind of like, when you click on the dial and it goes really staticky on the radio. I do feel like the feminine has blocked the telepathic communication to some degree. And the masculines are trying to reach, where are you? Where are you? But they've got to master all of the mental clutter coming through. And so throughout the week, though, we are working with Saturn, the Lord of Karma, which is going to be going retrograde soon, and Jupiter in Taurus, which is all about expanding beauty, love, home, compassion, right? Our finances, and then the North Node energy as well as supporting these transformations. And so I do feel the feminine is encouraged to just keep going. I know it's really tough to push through, but push through. Don't give up is the message I feel for the feminine, because in the long run, that, Knight of Pentacles energy, slow and steady wins the race. And I think that was a big message. I know the girls come across a great big freaking turtle at the trailer. And actually, most of the turtles out at the bay this weekend, they were nesting and they were bearing eggs. And so the energy I feel is fertile, slow and steady though, right? I know a lot of us, it's like, oh, one foot in front of the other, and it's like drudgery at certain parts in the journey. And that's where I feel like we're at, right? It's like the feminine is like not quite there living the dream, but it's right there almost, right? And so it's like it's not quite out of reach. We're so close. And so the feminine's actions right now are requiring alignment, soul alignment. Don't give up. Keep putting one foot in front of the other, as thick as the energy feels, because Neptune is coming in this week, and more so towards the weekend. It's amplifying this spiritual union, the spiritual love that the twins share with one another. And so I do feel there's a strong emphasis on these spiritual connections this week, but we have to be open to it, right? We have to be open to it. And so I do feel we're going to have to go within and master the mind this week to relax so we can keep the psychic channels clear. And so that's why I just was like, it was so quiet, right? And that's a message I deliver all the time, and I've got to practice what I preach, right? It's like, quiet the mind, go within, quiet everything down, and that's where the answers lie. And so I kind of just went into complete quiet bliss internally this weekend to open up the psychic channels with my guides. So I do feel there's been a lot of light codes saturating the collective, bringing in all of these very intense spiritual downloads and information when it comes to these twin flame experiences and the past lives that we have shared with our counterpart, whether through dreams, signs, or just like a profound third eye epiphany. And so ultimately, this is a journey of unity and breaking through the illusions of the 3D material world, facing the opposition and rising above the fray, getting that higher vantage point. And so I do feel we're off to a tense start today. I know I'm lacking motivation, although I'm like, great doing the 3D detached thing, but lacking motivation to channel. And so I feel the masculine's in a huge release of ego identification right now when it comes to masculine, feminine polarity and oppositions and all of the drama that he's been connected to. And he needs to invite love in instead of playing into these karmic cycles. He needs to allow the light to shine in as the feminine also aligns with unconditional love. So we're being asked to master our emotions, to master our mind, and to not get dragged down into any drama this week. We all have a choice to align with love and to release anything that's not aligned with that, because I do feel the divine feminine is ready. She's ready. The masculine just needs to open up and listen this week. So Some of the number syncs that came through was 202, 404, 303, and 505 showed up a lot, and 636. So, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So progression. So all of these Genesis mirroring things that have been showing up for me are basically saying the masculine is at a crossroads in his life. There's a lot of dualistic energy coming forward. I do feel divine intervention, and there is a separation in that karmic contract, but the masculine is going to have to stay focused, and I do feel a lot of purging of emotions. So let's jump in with some cards and see what else needs to come through for the twins this week. Forgiveness. That's a big one, eh? And sharing. So I do feel the feminine has reached a state of liberation. I know for my own journey, I forgive it all. I'm forgiven it all. I am ready to move on. Actually, yeah, I did have a major love confession on the weekend, Friday night. A fellow camper out at the trailer park just confessed his undying love for me, like full on confession of all of these feelings. I had no idea this person felt this way about me, and I was kind of taken back of this confession. And so there might be a lot of sharing of feelings too coming through. But I do feel as the feminine offers her forgiveness, it liberates her from the bondage, right? From the trauma that we've come here to transmute. When the feminine is free from pain on her heart, that is what sparks the masculine to go through the energy of mastering forgiveness as well. And so I do feel the masculine is preparing to reach out and to ask for forgiveness. I do feel they're gaining a lot of wisdom through this karmic experience. They're attaining a lot of wisdom, and they're getting ready to reach out and to let you know what they've learned on the journey and separation is what I'm feeling. So I do feel there's a need to just let go, divine feminine. We are not in control. Allow the energies to just kind of play out without any expectations. So let's see what needs to come through for the twins for the week ahead. I'm not going to separate the energies. We're just going to get some messages this week for the twins. Kitty's all up on my desk wanting in on this reading. She's like pacing the living room. All right, let's see what we got. Well, there's that catalyst. So that's what I feel is going on with the Leo, a lot of Leo energy. I do feel the masculine is dealing with a karmic catalyst at this time that is bringing forward all kinds of challenges, necessary, heavy karmic challenges in order to redirect the masculine back towards you. In order to activate his psychic abilities as well. And so I do feel there was some type of throat chakra activation. I know another divine feminine has been clearing some kind of throat chakra blocked, a good friend of mine. And so I do feel the masculines are still struggling with removing the throat chakra block. And so once that throat chakra block is removed and there is open, honest communication, it's like wide open. With the gift of psychic sight, clairaudiency. And so the masculine, I feel, has intuitively sensed this catalytic takedown coming. And I do feel there's a lot of healing light around the masculine as he learns this karmic lesson. So a week of very painful karmic lessons. And we have to resolve these negative past life experiences so we can break the loop of reincarnation. So the masculine, I feel, is working through a very painful lesson, growing through the pain and growing pains, right? And we don't usually embrace real transformation and change until it is absolutely so gruelingly uncomfortable and painful, right? And this is going to allow the clearing of the cords. So we have to go through this purge and this cleanse to clear all of the unhealthy memories, the unwanted karmic attachments, unhealthy addictions, energies, releasing that. Meditation will allow you to connect with your guides this week and to receive that guidance from spirit. I do feel the masculine's in a really tough situation. And he does need to open up the channels of communication with the feminine, I feel. And so there's going to be some type of paradigm shift playing out in the energies this week. And the masculine, I do feel the veil of illusion has been peeled back. And I think there's anger because he sees the feminine clearly. He can now determine that's a karmic situation he's in. That's not twin flame. It's a twin flame shit show. It's a false contract. And he can now see clearly what he didn't originally know. And so I do feel the feminine is really speaking to the divine masculine. So healing light is what is needed, and openness to receive a message, right? So let's dig in with some illumination. Well, the universe has a plan. Illumination messages. There's that tower. So pay attention. Pay attention. That's Virgo energy coming through. The universe has a plan for some heart healing. So there's a tower. There's an unexpected shakeup, a shift in beliefs, anything built on, superficiality, false pretenses. That's going to have to crumble down because we're healing our heart. So a lot of heart healing. It might be some very emotional conversations coming through this week. So we'll see what needs to come through with the Illumination Oracle deck. Well, I do feel there's going to be some type of accusation, or it's already happened. I feel an accusation of some sort. Maybe the divine masculine they're going to get into a fight because the karma is going to be accusing them of, making secret plans to move. But I do feel there's been a recent move, or there's going to be a fight and they're going to be moving. I think they've already been making plans to move on anyway. Maybe for the last 6 months, the masculine's been maybe making plans, looking for another place to live. And so I do feel he is going through a renewal. The butterfly. Actually, there was a butterfly that visited me too. Before I left for the trailer last week. A beautiful black and blue butterfly. Monarch butterfly here. But I do feel the masculine is definitely in need of some compassion. Bottom of the deck, we get rejection, soulmate, reliving the past, and then the substances are a block to intimacy and this healing journey. So I do feel a lot of the masculines are still struggling with alcohol or drug abuse issues. I do feel they're still struggling with the rejection from the past, whether it's past life rejection or this life rejection. I know for me, I did break up with my divine masculine because he wasn't opening up the doorway to his heart. And so I do feel there's a lot of regret for, the missed opportunity. We're living the past. It's dark night of the soul energy and definitely in the depths of the shadows. And so when we go into, struggling with addictions with alcohol, and we did have Venus square Jupiter, Venus in Cancer square Jupiter. So I do feel there was a lot of overindulging on the weekend. And that can really skew our perception. And it is definitely a block to intimacy and healing the heart. So I do feel a lot of the masculines still need to face some type of addiction, whether it's an alcohol addiction, something that they've been using to mask the pain of the rejection. I also feel the masculine might have also been rejected by the entire social circle due to, that Jezebel karmic feminine. She comes in and she kind of just trashes the masculine's whole life. And so alcohol might still be an issue and block to intimacy that the masculine is needing to work through this week. Let's jump in with some tarot and see. Well, we get the Ace of Swords and the Prince of Pentacles. Look at that. There's that Knight of Pentacles. That's a solid offer. This is somebody willing to invest the time to build something solid. There's that divine truth. There's that truth, communication, honesty. I do feel, still a little bit guarded though. Still a little bit unsure, right? This Prince of Pentacles has kind of got his arms crossed, a little bit blocked, right? Not too sure. But there's a lot of truth coming forward, I feel, in the energies this week for the twins. Yeah, so wanting to heal this, right? Wanting to heal the heart, wanting to heal this connection, wanting to heal from the betrayal is what it feels like, and bring forward justice. So I do feel that the masculine is laser focused on healing this connection, bring justice to the situation. And I do feel he's going through a major heart chakra purge. I also feel like the divine's got their eyes on him. They're like, hey, you ain't getting away with this, divine masculine. It's time. It's time to bring balance. So Libra, Definitely could be dealing with a Libra counterpart. But I also feel the North Node is going to be entering into Aries, which is going to be putting the South Node in Libra. And so this is really going to highlight indecision and where we are in, you know, an unbalanced cycle of inequality. Okay, so we get the Judgment reverse, the Strength, the Hierophant, the Five of Wands reverse. So the masculine's given up the power struggle, given up the fight. He doesn't want to fight anymore. I do feel he's been in a duel, some type of duel of opposition for about the last 3 years, going through this heart healing. There's the Judgment. There's the bad judgment call. So the masculine could be experiencing some bad karma. I do feel emotions are going to be in overdrive. And there's that unexpected choice in love with the Lovers. I do feel the masculine is laser focused on the feminine. Something about Venus and Mars and Leo is really drawing the masculine towards the feminine. Laser focused. The divine is like, you gotta make a move. And I do feel an unexpected choice in love this week. And there is this energy of moving towards calmer waters, moving towards healing. But we can't withhold that conversation of the past betrayal. And then there's that blessing, right? There's that gifty from Saturn, that new beginning, the balanced new beginning. But it's going to require everything being put on the table. I don't think you're going to see this come in Divine Feminine. He's coming straight towards you. The masculine's laser focused on the Empress. And I think you're pretty hard to miss in the energies this week. Taurus, Libra. Let's pull in for the feminine. I'm going to grab, what is this? The Steampunk Tarot. Well, we get the Death and the Two Pentacles. So I always think of like the Wizard of Oz energy with this, the Wicked Witch. But you can kind of see the infinity loop. And so I do feel like emotions are going to be running high for the feminine. You might also be closing out a cycle when it comes to the ending of a commitment or a marriage. If you see on this Death card, she's got like a white wedding dress on, and it looks like, you know, a masculine behind, turning maybe one last look back at a commitment that is coming to an end. So you can choose to move forward. I feel a major realignment to Scorpio energy for the Divine Feminine. Two of Pentacles and Judgment for you. So Judgment upright is good karma. You're headed straight towards good karma, blessings. I also feel headed straight towards a reconciliation of some sort. Interesting, Divine Feminine. Interesting. Yeah, realignment. No more third-party drama. You're all done. You're all done with the third-party drama. So messages for the Divine Feminine for the week ahead. Okay, Seven of Cups on the bottom of the deck. We get the Moon. We get the Three of Pentacles. So there is an opportunity for a new hire contract this week. I do feel the signing of a new soul contract. Definitely for the feminine. You're entering into a new contract. It could be with maybe even another Divine Feminine. If you see she's holding the tarot cards. You see one man and two women on the card. But I do feel the signing of a new contract, a lucrative contract. This is interesting. The Six of Wands in reversed, the Five of Swords upright, and the Moon. So the way I see this, Divine Feminine, is you've accepted the loss, is what I'm feeling. You are no longer wanting to invest in anything that is not forthright and honest, right? You're all done investing in an illusion, is what I see here. And on this full moon, we have a cat on the one side and a dog, and we got what is that, like a lobster in the middle? But I do feel like you got to overcome some fear. Maybe there's fear of being hurt again. There could be fear of being hurt again that needs to be overcome before entering into this contract. I also think the universe is bringing in a lot of offers as like a spiritual test to to see if you've mastered the lesson of reciprocity, because I do feel you've got a lot of offers coming in, and I don't think it's going to be giving you what it is that you deserve. And this is a lesson in mastering discernment and getting over any fears. So if you do have a lot of offers coming in, is to shift your perspective, right? To get you unstuck. But I do feel mastering a lesson, walking away from confusion, fear, illusion, and you're walking straight into good fortune. And this is a rebalancing from the unjust situation, because I do feel Libra energy coming through now. The feminine, this is like you've mastered your mission with the universe. Like you've walked full on head into this higher contract, and I do feel blessings. Yeah, it's like full circle. Everything is coming full circle for the feminine, because you're reaching spiritual achievement, accomplishment. You've mastered this life lesson. I know. And this is, I feel, this is due to, you know, the distortion in the masculine collective, right? The King of Swords reversed with the Emperor. And so we've healed from narcissistic abuse. A lot of us, you know, go through healing from narcissistic abuse. And it seems like we get like a degree in psychology, spiritual psychology. But I do feel mastering this lesson is bringing something back to life. And I do feel the masculine wants to come forward for a reconciliation or a renewal. So unexpected communication is what I'm feeling. And I do feel the masculines have been watching you for quite some time, Divine Feminine. So let's get a couple twin flame oracle messages. Pause for reflection. That's what the feminine really is being asked to do, is to take a break. And I know for a lot of us, we're very productive. It's hard to take a break, but take a break. Replenish your reserves. So let's see. Any last messages for the twins? So we are both being affected by the moon energies. Well, that's for sure. Actually, on the radio this morning, bringing the kids to school, there was a domestic in town here, and some chick was abusing her. I don't find it funny, but was abusing her boyfriend and was like throwing all the flower pots at him. I'm like, you know, full moons bring crazy out, and men do get abused too. I don't think we realize that as fully as it happens, right? I do think it happens more than we realize. So chakra, there's the chakra purging, the chakra balancing, so clearing of the chakra blockages, and all of these power struggles. It's all of the past life karma that the masculine has to release. All of this conflict is stemming around past life karma. And so I do feel, too, Divine Feminine, you have to decide, do you want the counterpart to return? Because when we keep sending mixed signals to the universe, they can't bring us what we want. So we have to clearly decide, do you want this union? And then we'll receive that happy news and motion forward. So I do feel delays are due to the fact that the masculine has a cycle to close out. But I do feel there's been a recognition. The masculine does see clearly who the true twin soul connection is, and he's going through a lot of ascension. And so we got to get grounded, right? As the masculine goes through this ascension energy and the shedding and the higher reality, timeline shifting, we do have to get grounded in order to make these connections made manifest in the physical world, because the twins are here to bring forward healing miracles for the collective. So let's get one last message with the romance angels, and this is it. This is the bottom line. The entire twin flame journey is about mastering loving yourself first, because when you show yourself love and respect and you live your life to the fullest, this is what makes you the most attractive, when you are authentically loving yourself. And these connections are worth waiting for, and it is a lesson in patience and trust that we are calling in this soulmate. We are manifesting this, and so faith really is required on the journey, right? And divine timing. I know we all hate that, but really divine timing plays a big part. So I do feel there is going to be a big time heart-to-heart conversation playing out, likely closer to the end of this week. The masculine is ready to honestly discuss his feelings with you. He wants to get to know you again. And let's face it, we are not the same people we were when this journey began years ago. And so the block is the unrequited love situation that needs to be released in order to deepen this bond with the counterpart. So it's a matter of the masculine getting honest that there's just no chemistry or attraction there. I don't even think there's like any type of physicality going on there. There's no sexual attraction. And so that does need to be released before the masculine can come forward and express his love. So that's kind of what I got for the week ahead for the twins, guys. I hope this helped. I hope this resonated. Keep an eye for Capricorn. That's going to be the first video I do. My cards are already ready. So Capricorn, I don't know what you're stuck on, but I'm going to try and figure it out. And I'll be posting that at some point later today. And then hopefully I will get through the water signs at some point tomorrow and Wednesday. Please be patient with me because with all of these retrograde, pre-shadow retrogrades with the Piscean energy, it's hitting my first house. So I'm going through major upgrade and expansion in my gifts right now. And so that does take time to integrate. And I don't like to channel if the energy isn't clear and light. So that's it for the week ahead, guys. If you would like to book a personal or a soulmate reading with me, check out the description box below. I'm also going to be revamping the services that I offer. So a lot of good things are coming for the channel. It's just a matter of getting my ducks in a row because right now I don't got a row of ducks at all. Okay, so have a great week, everybody. I love you all so much, and I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.